Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your Evolved Shorty, and yes, it's twice in a row. First time this has happened for a while. And I'm reviewing Mech Cadets. It's a Greg Pak thing, and it's apparently been like a 12-issue maxi series elsewhere, and it's been made into an anime thing. And it's also frustrating. It is one of those comic books which is useful every once in a while because I feel like I am far more likely to rate highly comic books which speak to things that I'm interested in, things that I agree with, that whole like confirmation bias thing, but I don't like the idea of confirmation bias. So I do tend to try my best to judge things as fairly as I possibly can. And this comic book is a very, very good example of it because I wholeheartedly agree with an awful lot of sentiment within this comic book, but I don't necessarily think it's a good comic book. It is simplistic, I suppose. The artwork and the writing both lean into that. And there's an argument to be said that maybe because it's aimed at a slightly younger reader that should be okay. But I also was reading quite complicated stuff when I was 10, 11 and 12 years old, and I feel like there's room to have better stories and better artwork in these comic books without actually detracting from the fact that it should be easily accessible to children. Because the idea is, at least from what I can gather, and again, I've not read the 12 issue maxi, I've not paid any attention to the anime series, there is a group of teenagers, children, who are roped into a military organization to fight against aliens in giant robots. Now, that in itself is just cool. It's the kind of thing which has like a lot of background in definitely anime and some other cartoon kind of stuff. It's not the kind of thing where my instant thought is, oh no, child soldiers bad. I mean, they are, but you can kind of get around this idea because it's part of the world, it is a separate universe to our own, and comic book and anime universes have completely different rules. There are things which just feel like they exist in a way that's different, and it's fine to allow that. But it doesn't take long for this comic book to get to the point of fact that it is a military organization which has its own ideas about what is right and what is wrong, that it is funded by people who want to maintain control, that there is top-down, if not patriarchal exactly, but certainly of an aspect of that kind of control going down on it, and they very clearly are fighting against aliens who are othered in a big bad way. Now, I am all in favour of setting this up. This is the bad guys are the military-industrial complex. The kids should be able to go and do something good, and that's absolutely fine and dandy. I like the fact that he doesn't take these kids on to do it, but then it just becomes so simplistic and so black and white, so lacking in subtlety, that I found myself thinking, it's more like back of a packet of something kind of wisdom rather than actually getting into the nitty-gritty of a comic book, and that's not great, because we have these aliens, right? And the ones they're supposed to fight are these big, huge, monstrous, inhuman or abhuman, like not even looking human at all kind of creatures with biomechanical implants that apparently have ravaged the sector before. And the only way to stop them is by effectively finding some way for these kids to mesh either physically or mentally with their robots to go and fight them, which apparently does use alien technology, which the military industrial complex knows about, but is keeping a secret because they want to maintain this idea that all aliens are bad. Now, that could have some depth to it. I like the idea of that one. There is this idea that these aliens are something other than just the overt threat that we think they are. This could be some kind of social control kind of issue. But we then see later on a very, very marketable looking alien, the kind of thing that would be a great action figure. It even speaks in like a cute little alien language, and we're supposed to think that that one's okay. So some aliens are fine, as long as they look okay, as long as, yes, they are still alien, they're still other than different, but they are cute, small, and easy to control. It just felt like this was a chance to really get under the skin of a big, epic kind of idea, but instead it gets simplified down to what looks good is good, what looks bad is bad. The writing as well, yes, there's some military-industrial complex stuff. One of the main cadet characters, their dad is the general, which feels a little bit on the nose. And there is like very simple ideas of them trying to stop people robbing a department store during a flood where people are literally just trying to get food to survive before this food rots because there's no power. I mean, they're told not to because bad guy, capitalist, corporate kind of thing. It's like, it's good that they're doing this. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it, but I just feel like there is not enough depth to this story. And the same is true of the artwork. I don't really have any major criticism with it. The action sequences look fantastic. Big set pieces are cool. I like the characterization. It's only when you see the giant robots, the mechs, they are very, very simplistic, angular, geometric shapes put together into robot-looking bodies. When you get to the back of the comic book, you've got some like sketches of design notes that look brilliant, they look amazing. Genuinely would love to see those in this comic book, but we have really simplistic ideas of what these robots should look like. Maybe there's this thing where later on they're going to become amazing and look cool and get upgraded, and I like that as an idea. But right now, this issue 1 feels like a bunch of cool ideas, none of which go anywhere or done anything interesting with, and it's disappointing because I do agree that you shouldn't have children as soldiers, and if you are going to have them, they should be able to rise up against the people controlling them. The military-industrial complex is bad. Oh, and if you need stuff like food and everything like that, then you should be allowed it. That's it from me for today, though. I might do one more this week. We'll see how it goes. I'm getting better. I promise we're now back into a brand new shop, and it looks amazing. We are getting properly settled, but I'm just still trying to find a nice rhythm. If you don't want to miss anything, make sure you hit the like and subscribe thing, and I'll see you when I see you. Look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.